Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and for the last 7 days, I've been driving the 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid XSE. Up front is a 2.0 liter inline-4 as well as a hybrid system, and down below is an eCVT. Now I'm super excited to be making this video because I've spent the last 7 days driving this car, and I have plenty of thoughts and opinions to share with you today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that hybrid system under the hood. Well, it consists of two halves. First half is the 2-liter inline-4. This has been shared across many of the other Toyota and Lexus products. Even specifically the regular Toyota Corolla Cross gets this 2-liter under the hood. However, this does have the hybrid system paired to it, which gives it overall 196 system horsepower. Like I said, paired to it is that eCVT. I'm normally not a big fan, but I think in this hybrid application it actually works really well, and I don't have any complaints about it. Last but not least, it is all-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid XSE? Well, besides having a mouthful anytime someone asks you what you just pulled up in, it's actually been very, very wonderful, and this has been the highlight of my time with the Corolla Cross Hybrid, and I'll talk more in depth about that and how it makes me feel at the end of the video. But all the touch points are great. The steering is nice and direct and solid and consistent. Throttle is good enough. It's almost at 200 horsepower, which is nice. Visibility is good, and it's not too low to get into, but it's also not a jacked up pickup. So very, very nice, and we'll talk again more about that later on. Let's talk about fuel economy. 37.5 average, really fantastic. And a lot of my driving has been spent in EV mode, which helps out a ton. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a mix of physical and digital gauges. Off to the left and right, we have our coolant temperature and fuel, but then in the center, we get the digital gauge. I've become very familiar with this across all of Toyota's lineup and even bleeding into their Lexus products. I think it's easy to read. There's a lot of colors and a lot of distractions going on, but the actual numbers and letters are prominent enough that at a quick glance, you shouldn't have too much of an issue. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have my selector dials for that gauge cluster screen, as well as back and phone options, volume and voice commands, and off to the right, we have our adaptive cruise options and our skip track. The steering wheel does feel nice. It is leather wrapped. However, it's not the most premium leather you'll ever feel in your life, but hey, at least it's an attempt. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, our gauge dimmer switch, automatic high beams, traction control on and off, tailgate release, and fuel door release down below. Moving out of the door, we have our latch to get in and out, power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do have a little infotainment screen. This does feel a lot smaller than what you would find in other Toyota vehicles. However, it does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I think it's decently responsive, and I don't mind Toyota's modern infotainment system when you're not using CarPlay. I think it functions fine. Here's what the backup camera looks like in case you're interested. I think it's relatively decent, and it does have front parking sensors as well. Down below, we have two climate control vents surrounding a hazard switch, and our climate controls. We do get dual zone climate, auto climate, and eco cool, so it will heat and cool the vehicle most efficiently, however not the quickest. And I like how clean and concise the buttons are. Down below that, we have our heated seat options as well as a USB-C. I think Toyota is very, very smart. You can see that the USB port is surrounded by this like rectangle, so they can just swap out either a USB-A or USB-C. I think they designed these a long time ago in a really smart way, so they didn't have to redesign the center console of the car when switching from A to C. Very, very cool to see that. And down below, we do have a wireless charger. Then we have several drive mode selects. So we have Sport, Normal, and Eco, as well as EV mode, which will allow you to drive completely on electricity. However, that is only at slow speeds. Around town, neighborhoods, drive-throughs, parking lots, you're going to be able to do that all in EV. But once you start really accelerating, it's going to require the gas engine. Then we do have the shifter, same shifter you'll find in a lot of Toyota products. No news here. And then we have our power parking brake and brake hold. Two cup holders are found down below that, so we will do the final big friggin' bottle test for 2023. And unfortunately, like most cars this year, it ends in a fail. Then we do get a little center console, again another USB-C that's easily replaceable, and the 12-volt outlet, but nothing really beyond that. And then we'll talk about the seats. The seats have this interesting pattern to them. They do feel somewhat cheaper. It really feels like something you find in like a base model of the RAV4, which makes sense. This is priced below that vehicle, but I just didn't really fall in love with them. They are heated. The driver's seat is power. However, the passenger seat is manual. However, we do have back seats, so let's go do a backseat review. All right, so we're on the back of the 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid XSE, and a couple of things to note. First of all, this is my driving position, and my knees aren't hitting the seat in front of me. They're getting close. Is this a big, spacious back seat? No. And don't put that in your head. I do have a light back here, which is LED, which is nice to see. A lot of more economy-based cars tend to not do LEDs. But I do have cup holders in the doors. I have, of course, power windows. I do have climate vents back here. Very nice to see that. And two USB-C chargers, fold out cup holder and armrest. Overall, this is not bad. And if you're comparing this to a regular Corolla, this back seat is so much better. Now, I know this is an SUV and it's a different chassis and it's a different vehicle, but sharing the Corolla name, a lot of people are like, oh, Corolla. So if you are cross-shopping this with a regular Corolla, the back seat, and as we'll talk about the trunk, is miles better than the standard Corolla when you move up to the Corolla Cross. Just something to note. However, speaking of which, let's see what I mean by a lot more cargo space than a regular Corolla. I just want you all to know that right there is a Costco, and it is Christmas Eve today, and they're making like all like the bakery goods and rotisserie chickens, and it smells delightful here. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid XSE. We do have a power tailgate. Hit the button under there, and it does power up. The regular sedan Corollas do not get anything of the sort. Once we are back here, we do have a privacy cover up top, nice carpeted floor mat down below, and we can pull it up for some tire inflator goods. We do not get a spare tire. There's some important hybrid things down below there. JBL speaker, this is part of the convenience package. This has a nearly $2,600 convenience package, which includes the JBL speakers. It has the adaptive headlights and some other goodies that I'll put up on the screen right now. Over here, we do have this pad thing. Cool, I guess. Like I said, privacy cover, and those seats do fold down as well. Other than that, nothing too crazy, but tons more space than the standard Corolla, and you can close it and lock it, or just close it at the push of a button. Nice, smooth, and simple, and boy, does that Costco smell good. Oh. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and all right, well, first of all, the hybrid gets a different front fascia than the standard Corolla Cross. So here's the standard Corolla Cross, here's the Corolla Cross Hybrid. You could see that there are pretty big differences, at least in terms of the face. Not totally sure why they made this the case, but they did. So let's do a walk around, and of course, the other thing that you'll notice is the paint color, which is Acidic Blast. This has been the big talking point of this car during my time with it. Everyone hates this color, and I got the car and I hated it at first, but then I spent 7 days with it and I hated it even more. It's a gross color. I don't know why Toyota even offers this color, especially as someone who has struggled in the past with stomach issues. This reminds me of stomach acid, and it's not really a pleasurable memory. So I tried to take some video here when it was foggy yesterday on Christmas Eve. That makes it look a little bit more scenic. Maybe it's out of like a, you know, a indie spooky movie or something like that. But at the end of the day, I think it's a very gross color, and I wish that Toyota didn't scar my eyes with it. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think, having driven the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid for the last 7 days? Well, besides the visual experience, which, as I said, is not good, I have actually really enjoyed my time driving the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. Couple reasons for that. First of all, it gets great fuel economy. Like I said, 37.5 miles to the gallon. Wonderful. That's a great number. I think it does a lot of things really well in terms of SUVs. I think it's relatively spacious. I did fit 4 people in here pretty fine. I don't know if they loved the rear seat experience, but it wasn't the end of the world like it would be in some other vehicles. I was able to fit all of my cargo, all of my Christmas gifts. I'm actually filming this today, is Christmas Eve. I'm filming this car, and so I've dropped off gifts this morning, and I used the back, and it was useful. It worked really well, and so I was happy to see that. But the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from this car that I really truly wasn't expecting was the driving feel. This was one of those cars that I got in and immediately felt comfortable with under 30 seconds of driving. I thought, oh, this is how this works, and this is how it drives, and I like that. It was a very, very quick, knee-jerk, immediate response of, hey, I like this. This is good. And you don't often get that, especially I drive 8-9 cars a week. So feeling that was really nice. It's like your buddy's couch, right? In their apartment, maybe their dorm room, first house, whatever it might be. If you've ever slept on your friend's couch, you know what I'm talking about. It's comforting for no straight reason. There's no way that I could say why I think my friend's couch was super comfortable. It wasn't like it had super fantastic arch support or the cushions felt a certain way. And I never sought it out. I was never like, ooh, yes, I get to sleep on my friend's couch tonight after a long night of partying. But when the rubber met the road and I did fall asleep on that couch, it was probably the best night's sleep I ever got. That's how I feel about the driving experience of the Corolla Cross. I wouldn't say, oh my God, you gotta try this car and see how it drives. But when I am driving it, it's wonderful. It does everything I want it to do. And that is a very special thing. Overall, my time with the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid has been very positive. I think almost every Toyota that I've driven this year has been an overly positive experience. And so I'm very happy to report that the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid continues that legacy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota for sending me this vehicle for the last 7 days. I've truly, truly enjoyed it. And Toyota is fantastic to work with. You guys probably see that I get a lot of Toyota and Lexus products here on the channel. I actually already have at least 3 more Lexus products coming in January of 2024. And it's because they're wonderful to work with. They're very understanding and an awesome company. So I really appreciate all of the men and women over at Toyota's PR that help put me into these cars. They're just the best. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the delivery and cleaning of this vehicle, and of course the Midwestern Automotive Media Association for just putting all the dots together. However, there is still one more thing to say. With the publishing of this video, this marks my final car review for 2023. And so I just wanted to say thank you. If this is your first time stopping by, thanks for checking out my video. Or if you're a longtime fan, I appreciate all of the love and support you guys have shown me over 2023. I'm gonna take about a week break. You're not gonna see any uploads for the next week. However, I will return in 2024 with a lot of fun reviews at hand. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making my dreams come true, and thank you for clicking on this Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid video. And now, for the last time ever, enjoy the outro music. Take care, guys.